Hey, Larken Rose here. I'm doing a follow-up video to the video I did about Tom Woods, because I need to correct something that I got factually wrong that changes essentially nothing of what I said. And I'll show you the email to show you exactly what I got wrong. This is the actual email from him. He shows quotes in italics without quote marks, so a lot of what I attributed to Tom himself was actually still Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking. But he posted it to agree with her, so I'll just show you what's hers. So that's him saying, I have no doubt everyone reading this is capable of sending me silly things that Marjorie Taylor Greene has said. Not interested in, because she had the stones to say this. I represent the base, and when I'm frustrated and upset over the direction of things, you better be clear, the base is not happy. Okay. I thought that was the end of the quote from her. The italics keep going because this is still her. I campaigned for no more wars. Now we're on the verge of this. I don't think we should be bombing, blah, 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 blah. By the way, she's right about all the what shouldn't be happening. And it was her that said, didn't we learn our lesson? First of all, Tom Woods posted this. By the way, notice he titled this, "This Isn't What I Campaigned For." So apparently he's saying the same thing. He posted it because he agrees with it. Obviously. Now at the bottom, let me see where he takes over. So apparently all the way to here, that the italics were still her. It took legitimate guts for her to say those things. She will face the wrath, blah, blah, blah. So those are his words. And it was his words where he said, I don't think I'm telling the readers anything they don't know when I say it's entirely possible that politics will fail us. So that was Tom again. Okay, so what does this change? Basically nothing. He's posting this because he agrees with it. And he absolutely campaigned for Trump. He pushed people to vote for Trump, and he did it openly. This isn't a secret. This isn't controversial. The fact that he was quoting somebody else's words to agree with them, rather than posting his own words to say that, makes almost no difference. Now, the biggest difference is I screamed at him for saying, "What didn't we learn our lesson?" when it was actually Marjorie Taylor Greene. She didn't learn her lesson, and Tom didn't learn his lesson, even though that was her words. Tom hasn't learned his lesson. That's still completely true. So everything I said about this is still stuff he's advocating. This was an example of he's quoting somebody and then criticizing them for it. He quoted her to agree with her on all this. And he actively supported Trump and the stupid idea that voting for a new crook is going to somehow do some good. But I did want to correct the factual thing that a bunch of those words were still Marjorie Taylor Greene's, that he was quoting to agree with them, which is still bogus. And the thing that makes this so obnoxious, and just so, I said before, the fact that he should know better and still does this bullshit is annoying enough. An actual politician, of course they're going to lie their asses off, I don't care. But what makes it so much worse is that if people are starting to question statism, and if people are starting to look outside the stupid two-party system, and they hear about this thing called libertarianism, when some of the most prominent spokespeople for libertarianism are out there promoting Mango Mussolini and being, this is, and then we're offended. Because he posted this to show that he agrees with her. We're offended that these things haven't happened. Gee, we put a new tyrant on the throne and he keeps being a tyrant. Golly gee. So it's still totally true that Tom Woods hasn't learned his stinking lesson. Whether he said those words or she did, and in this case she did. But if people looking into libertarianism find this, that's worse than nothing. That's worse than just not saying anything. You're not being libertarian. Tom Woods, you're being an absolute unprincipled statist. Even though you were, in this case, quoting her saying the stupid words and then you posting them and agreeing with them rather than them being your original stupid words. Except the beginning and the end, which were your original stupid words. But anybody looking into this and going, what's libertarianism all about? Apparently, it's about voting for a bombastic, narcissistic, power-happy piece of shit and then whining about it when he doesn't do what you wanted him to do. Oh, that's libertarianism? Okay, don't want to have any part of that. Who would? And that's why it's just so obnoxious that people like him and Dave Smith kiss the ass of Trump. And even now when they're both going, oh, we don't like what's going on, neither of them have said a word about, I shouldn't have done that. I helped make this happen. I helped elect a guy. I encouraged other people to help elect a guy who's doing evil crap. I haven't heard either of them say a word. Now, if they say that, let me know. I will quote them. I'll try to quote them accurately that time. Because all he's doing here is going, oh, I'm mad at the tyrant I put on the throne, not doing what I wanted him to do. Holy crap, dude. So yeah, I wanted to quick get this correction out the same day, even though it doesn't actually change anything. It's what's the saying? It's a distinction without a difference. No, he didn't type those words. He posted words spoken or written by Marjorie Taylor Greene. He posted them to agree with them, which is just as bad. It doesn't fix it. It doesn't make it better. He was still an apologist for Trump. Dave Smith was still an apologist for Trump. And if people go looking to see what libertarianism is all about, or what freedom's all about, and they find that, holy shit. Now, I don't think either of them are actual controlled opposition, like paid to do this. But if I was somebody in power, I would absolutely pay for controlled opposition. That's what it's for, is to look like opposition and then keep spewing the bullshit that serves the empire. And that's exactly what they're doing. Only I don't think they're doing it because government's secretly paying them to. I think they're doing it because they're scared, unprincipled idiots. They're doing it for free. You didn't sell your soul. You just gave it away. And it's pathetic to watch. And it's just, it's annoying how few people actually stick to the principles. And if you decide, oh, I don't believe in libertarianism anymore, okay, you can say so. And then jump on the Trump bandwagon or the Kamala bandwagon, whatever. But if you're pretending to be for libertarianism and all the people out there looking it up to see what it's about, and all they see is, oh, Trump supporter, I guess that's libertarianism. And the fact that the Libertarian Party invited Trump to speak. Now, to their credit, half of the audience was booing him when that happened, and the other half was cheering. But the fact that you had Trump at that pedestal, worshiping himself as he always does, and the words behind him become ungovernable. It's hard enough to get the rest of the world to contemplate the possibility of life without bowing to a ruling class. Confusing the shit out of them by pretending to be libertarian and doing this crap is not stinking helping.